starter. So, it's obviously important for him to be out, and it's important for all of us to be able to get a rhythm and be working as much as we can, even though he's a little bit limited.
Are you excited to see that leadership out of him, even though he is a younger guy?
Oh, it's no question. I mean, when you have Pat, Pat's a different kind of leader, obviously, and then you go to JB, and JB's a little bit different. He's different than Pat. And Gino's a little bit closer, towards how Pat was than so much of JB. He's just now he's got to go out and earn credibility and earn the people's respect, the players' respect. But I think as far as knowing what to do and all those kind of things, he's come a long way, and he's got a long way to go, but he's going to get there because he wants to be good.
Talk about for the quarterback and just for the offense in general, how important the growth of this offensive line is, the fact that they've got more experience this year.
Those guys went, 5 guys getting every snap. So they can't help but get better. And then the young guys had a year to get better, which, they need. It's hard for a true freshman to come in and play right away on the offensive line. So, but those guys are getting a chance to gel. They're getting a bunch of reps for the young guys, which is good for us, being able to work together and kind of create some timing with those young guys. So we're definitely looking forward to their progress. And obviously, the better they get makes us a whole lot better on the back end. So.
You obviously coached Tavon as a slot guy. What challenges will there be to get him the ball when he's lined up out wide, as they're talking about now?
He's going to be lined up a lot of places. I think the biggest thing is just to make sure he gets touches. It doesn't matter where he's lined up, whether he ends up back in the slot, whether he's outside, whether he's in the backfield. We got a lot of things to try to move him around and get him touches. The bottom line is he's got to get some. Last year we probably did him a disservice not getting him the ball enough. But then you had Arnett, you had other guys that you had to get those guys, older guys, the ball. So, but now it's his turn, so he's got to be able to learn everything, be able to play a lot of places. And then, with him out there, he stretches the field. You get a guy like that, nobody wants to cover him out in space one-on-one. At least I wouldn't want to. So, that stretches the field. You bring that safety over top, now you got more running lanes inside. So it's a good thing for all of us.
A lot of people will be talking about who the second running back is, but is that almost a misnomer because you have so many different options for different styles? Tavon's a second guy, and Sean Alston could be a second guy.
Yeah, to me depth charts are overrated. If you look at it and you say, I think, there's games where Noel doesn't start, but everybody knows he's the starter. It's who, so to say who's the second guy, with our offense, Jock's the second guy sometimes, Tavon will be the second guy sometimes, Brian Clark will be the guy sometimes it'll be Sean Alston, sometimes it'll be Daquan. It just depends on the personnel group. And so, to say the second guy on the depth chart, that's really just I guess that's for fans and message boards and all that kind of stuff to talk about, because it really has no bearing in our room at all.
How's recruiting been going so far this spring?
It's always a work in progress. I think, you sit back and people say, oh, we had so many commitments this time last year or whatever. Now everything is cyclical. Things go around and they come back around. And some years you're going to have 8-10 guys early. And then some years you're not. We'll get our guys and we'll get on the road and find out who the best players are. The bottom line is we want to get the best players that fit what we do and not get we're not worried about who's the 5-star guy. We want to get the best guy for what we do and make him a 5-star guy. And so that's what, that's all a work in progress.
Do you have any positions we plan on focusing on for this class?
We've got to get some tight ends. With Tyler Urban being, having 2 years left, and Will Clark, Will Johnson being able, to move on. We've got to get some guys in here to be able to replace those guys eventually. So tight end will be a focal point on offense. You never can get too many offensive linemen, and then you can never get too many corners. Safety type guys. Big tackles. All those things are focal points. But we want to get the best players, and that's kind of the bottom line.
How do you plan to make up for the loss of Coach Holliday in Florida? Is it going to be a team effort, or is it one coach that'll help out there? Or?
It's always been a team effort for us. I think it's overrated when you sit back and say people are great recruiters. It's all people working together. But with that being said, we've kind of moved some people around. Doc had been down there so long, he probably didn't need as much help. Now Lonnie Galloway will go down there, and David Lockwood will be down there, and Curlav will stay in his area. So we've got plenty of guys down there working in South Florida. Area that's been so good. But obviously, like I said, it's a team effort. Once we identify who they are, then it's all of us working together. But, line is about as good as it gets, recruiting, and David Lockwood's been doing it for a long time. So, we feel pretty good with those guys.
Thanks, Coach.